and welcome to From the Gamers, episode Crash. Damn it, I don't know what episode it is. Is it 11 or 10?
It should be 11 because 10 just got posted up on YouTube.
Sweet.
There we go.
11. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside my co-host this week. Fantastic guy, really good looking, wears glasses, has a beard. Zyga, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for being on the show. I hope you're doing well. For those who don't know who you are, who are you?
My name is Zyger. I'm a kid who has a lot of free time on the internet. That's a lie, though, because I'm always busy doing something.
Yep.
I travel a lot, and you might know me from Kind of Funny Stuff.
That's probably the best. But yeah, that seems like a fair summary. Especially that has too much time, but doesn't really have too much time. That sort of seems like you in a nutshell. Like, I'm like, how are you always here? Then when you're not here, I'm like, why are you not here? It's
right?
A weird one.
100%.
It's a weird one. It's like, yo, what the hell? Oh, yeah, Crash is here as well. Crash, how you doing?
I'm doing good. You know.
So, quick thing, Crash,
Yeah,
thank you for allowing me to be a guest on your podcast. I appreciate it a lot.
No problem.
I'm glad we kicked
Anything
it
I
off.
could do.
I'm glad we kicked it off like that. I really am. I'm super happy we kicked it off like that. Crash's podcast. Crash, it's not your podcast, bro. I told you, I sought out the guests. You just happen to be here.
But Crash requested me.
Look, I know. He's the one who was like, yo, Zyger's free this week, man. We can get you. I was like, yo, whoa. I'm the host. I'm the one that introduced this show. I'm the one that poorly reads the news stories. I'm the one that has to get Crash to do all the Japanese names. I get to make those decisions, all right?
I don't think you've ever once gotten me to do the Japanese name.
I mean, I try, but you always go, no, I'm not doing that, bro. I'm not doing that.
I don't want to butcher it.
I mean,
one person butchering it's enough.
One person butchering the easy words is enough. The hard words, we just let go. For those who don't know what From the Gamers is is a community-based podcast. Each week, we try and get someone new from the community on. And repeat, obviously, we've had Mr. Moody on a couple of times and a few others. Each week, anyone is welcome. If you have a webcam, if you have a microphone, you are welcome on this show. It's all about learning the trade, learning how to podcast, learning what it is to be like on a podcast on a reoccurring state. I've had people reach out like, oh, I've got this, but I ain't got that, or this and that. Look, just hit me up. Let me know you want to be on the podcast. I get a lot of people hitting me up like, I've never listened to the show. I'm like, well, you can't be on the podcast then, because it's not for you. This isn't about numbers, this isn't about views, it's not about nothing like that. It's about people coming together who enjoy the same things we do, which is video games and talking about. You can get the show early on patreon.com/mcfixer. Go support the YouTube channel, youtube.com/mcfixer. Twitch.tv/Kreshnik. Kreshnik!
There you go.
Good job.
What's the schedule, Fix?
Yo, and it comes out every Wednesday on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Spotify. We usually ask for fan emails. Last week, Crash, we said we'd change it up. Remember?
Yeah.
It was like, oh, we'll put out a tweet. Good to see I put out a tweet, and you didn't.
Okay, first of all, you put out a tweet the day before, and I retweeted your tweet.
I also retweeted that tweet.
No, Zyger, you did something better than retweeted. You quote tweeted and actually added something. Unlike Crash's lazy.
Okay, let me be
Did
real.
you check the response to that tweet, though?
No.
You should.
I didn't. All right, we'll go check. It's fine. I can do it on the fly. No problemo. Yeah. What's your excuse? What's your excuse this week, huh? We set something up, and you was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna tweet it out, and what happened?
I'll be real. I have nothing I can say to defend myself right here. I'm gonna take the brunt of that one. Next week I'll be better.
No, you won't.
How do you know I won't?
Look,
Fix, you throw out mad accusations, and I don't like this.
I don't trust you like that.
As an American, I think I have the right to say that's fake news.
Yeah, that's accurate. He has that right.
So, okay, let's get into the fan tweets and emails. You can email in from the gamers podcast@gmail.com. But Michael Quinn has a question. And it says, do you think games as a service model needs to be revamped, or at least held to a higher standard since the genre became popular in 2014? Chris, let's start off with you. Do you think it needs to be revamped, held to a higher standard? Obviously, there's been a lot of backlash in the Kind of Funny community with the way they reviewed Anthem, which I totally disagree with. To put my stance out there, they do what they do. If you don't like the way they do things, that's your problem.
So,
go on.
just a question. What do we consider a games with service? Is it only like a Destiny and Anthem type game?
Destiny, Anthem, Division.
Okay, so we don't consider something
Fortnite?
like. So
Rainbow
that
Six?
was my question. Like Fortnite and Rainbow Six,
Yeah.
are those considered games with service as well?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. Then no, I don't think anything really needs to change with a game of service.
So
Like I don't. Is there
Well-
an issue with how Rainbow does it?
no, but I think from Michael's question here, which I could totally be wrong, but it's more a case of everything surrounding it, the way they're reviewed, the way that people speak about these games, the way that people go in with low expectations, knowing they will get better. The whole situation around a game as service is something obviously super new, 2014. There's no time in the gaming world.
Yeah.
Me personally, yes, I don't think it's right to I don't think it's right to hold a game, to say a game is going to get better. I hate that argument when people are like,
100%.
this game's come out and it's content light, and it's like, well, yeah, but it's content light. It's like, well, yeah, but it's going to get better. It's like, yeah, but I paid $60, whatever it is, £50, £40. Nah. So I hate that argument. I think games as a service are a great thing. I think it's dope to think that you're going to buy a game and it is going to get progressively better and better and better over time. But the way we speak about them and the way we review them, I definitely think needs to change, personally.
I still think there's like an interesting argument to have. I think that a games of service being $60 that's the negative part. I don't think they should be $60. If Anthem came out and Anthem was like $30, I don't think people would have nearly as many issues with Anthem as they do. The issue with that is you can't really do that with a game like Anthem when they're like all the DLC's free. You can't go ahead and sell it for $30. Because then how are you funding the DLC and how are you getting your money other than microtransactions? Because you have to have a certain amount of guaranteed revenue that they'd hope for.
Yeah, it's a hard one. Zyg, where'd you come down on it? What do you think?
So it's sort of, I think it depends on the game. Like, for example, we can use Destiny, how at launch it's a $60 game, it's super content light, but they had the promise like, oh, we'll have DLC packs. And personally, I was not a fan of how Destiny did it.
No, me
Like,
either.
they did $40 DLC drops. It's like, oh, the game's finally good now, but I have to give them another $40.
And then you need to buy the DLC before you can even play that. So it's like they'll do it all in a $60 bundle.
Yeah.
Yep. And then they'll do it again the next year. And then the next year they release Destiny 2, and then they have season passes, which is an extra $20 for optional content that's not a part of the DLC. It's like, I'd rather Destiny put out a either $30 or $60 game, do a few microtransaction stuff here, and just do the content drops small, sporadic throughout the year. Instead, they're waiting a year or so to drop the big story DLCs, charging it upfront $40 just to play it again. And with Destiny, for example, they lock you out of content if you don't buy the DLC. With every new expansion drop, the level cap rises, and then certain game modes, those level caps will also rise. And if you don't buy the DLC, you can't play any of those modes anymore. Like, if you have a vanilla copy of Destiny, there's 80% of the game you just can't play anymore.
Yeah.
With every expansion.
Yeah. There's it's also a real big issue because it like sort of splinters the community, and that's not good for a game's longevity. It generally means the game will die off quicker, and that's definitely the case with Destiny 2, where it's still alive and people definitely play it and love the game. But Destiny 2 is nowhere near as big as Destiny 1 was in this far deep into its lifespan, because they've sort of been there and they've done all this and they're not willing to do it again.
Yeah.
Like with Anthem, with their DLC being free, they solved that issue about it, but still, it's content light.
It doesn't
100%.
excuse the content light, the problems that have these games. And I think that's something else that I think we touch on, isn't it? It's the fact of these games a lot of the time come out broken, which I totally understand to a degree why they are somewhat broken, but there's early access for this reason. Should all these games release in early access? Like Anthem, definitely. I think even if I have to pay £60 for it, or $60, I should say, it should release in early access.
It should
right?
come out saying early access. Like, it's not a fully complete game, and it's still in progress with major adjustments to be made ahead. But the thing is, I think that they can't go to investors and say they're releasing a game this way, because it scares investors,
especially EA.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard. It's so hard to get it right. And I still think nobody, I mean, I've just got a code for Division 2, so we will find out, but nobody to this point in my life has got it perfect yet.
Like even Ubisoft with Division 1 or Rainbow Six at launch, those games were good,
Yeah.
but they were content light.
Yep.
The end game wasn't really there for either of those games. And like for Rainbow Six specifically, it took like a year before it got real big again.
I hated
Yeah.
Rainbow for the first. I bought it day one, didn't like it, got rid of it, come back 2 years later, and then you both know how much I played Rainbow. I
Yeah.
played Rainbow religiously for a long, long time. Yeah, it is. It's super interesting. I definitely think there needs to be. The problem is, games are so splintered in the way we review them. Everyone's got their own way of doing things, or impressions, or this or that. There's not like a body of like, okay, IGN, GameSpot, Kotaku,
All get in a room and talk.
This is how we're going to review games. It's not like films, where films is like you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
We don't have that in video games, so it's so hard to have that just be a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's obviously we've got people doing things. They're going back and checking out games a year later and up in the review scores and stuff like that. Which again, I still feel weird about, because maybe that's the experience you're getting now, but that wasn't the experience you got day one. And that's what a review is.
I agree, but I think it's sort of like the issue is that gaming is still like a growing medium. It's still like relatively new, and so things will change, things will be done differently, and it's also like, do you apply the same sort of review conditions for a story-driven game or a gameplay-driven game or a multiplayer-driven game? Do these all get different review conditions, or do they all go under the same pool of?
I suppose that's the question, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if we answered the question, I'll be honest with you, but we tried.
We tried.
Michael, thank you very much for replying to Zyga's tweet. We got one in from Mr. Moody as well, and he says, in a crowded Battle Royale space, PUBG, Fortnite, Blackout, and Apex Legends, what does Battlefield 5 Battle Royale Firestorm need to do to stand out from the rest of the pack for you? Or is it just Doom on arrival? I think you mean on arrival. For me, it's doomed on arrival, because
Agreed.
It's too late.
I think that we've learned that. I feel like PUBG would have been. Imagine PUBG was free to play at the time when it came out. Obviously, I know they've got their free to play light mode now on PC, and there's a couple of other things. You've got the mobile version, stuff like that. But I think the big ones that have capitalized, obviously not always the case. Like Darwin Project was free, and Realm Royale was free, if I'm not mistaken.
Darwin's Project became free.
Very true. You're right. So it doesn't mean it's just gonna work, but I feel like Battlefield 5 could have came out the way it did, which unfortunately it's just dead. It's just dead. I was watching podcasts with Funhouse, and they were like, they still play it, and they were like, the servers are dead on PC. Like, there's nobody playing. Because everyone's playing Apex or Fortnite or Battle or Blackout or PUBG. They're playing those games now. Where I feel like Firestorm should be free, and that's the only way. Not that I think it's not like I'm entitled to it to be free, because I don't feel like that. But I mean, if they want it to be successful, it should have been Battlefield 5's out, and we're bringing an expansion out, bringing out a mode of Battle Royale later on down the line that is free to play, and then everyone would be more excited for it.
That's basically what Fortnite did.
Well,
that wasn't the plan with Fortnite, but I agree. They should have incentivized you for playing the BR mode to go back into their normal Battlefield, gotten free skins or whatever, vice versa, a mix of both. That way they do get you into that game if you didn't get Battlefield 5 when it first came out.
Or just silly little things. Like, there's so much they could have done, which is like, obviously these games have all got battle passes and stuff like that now. It's like, okay, you play so much and you can buy the game 25% off if you play the free to play Firestorm mode, whatever. If that's going to help drive sales to the main game, which I've heard the story's pretty good, and I know the multiplayer's good because I played the beta. So, and I was super. I remember when we were playing it, Chris. I was like, I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, you're like, are you gonna get this? Will we play? Will we have a squad?
He was like, no.
I can get Haley to play. She could be the healer.
She could be the healer, yo. But yeah, I like Battlefield. I think it's a great game. It looks beautiful. Sound design's amazing.
Agreed.
But
It's also different multiplayer experience considered, like compared to most
Yes.
FPS multiplayers.
so
It is very team driven and whatnot.
yeah, did you guys see the trailer that came out? The leak
No.
trailer.
They had a trailer for it?
No. So there was this leak trailer that came out that
Oh.
looked pretty convincing. I'm not sure if it is real, but like it did
Right.
have it looked pretty legit. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
It looks interesting, but it's Battlefield with Battle Royale, so it's not revolutionary. Like, and again, I just don't want to. I'm not gonna buy a Battlefield 5 for Firestorm. I'm not
I
doing it.
The
Like,
only way EA can probably fix it is if they put like Battlefield 5 in what is it, EA Play for the Xbox?
EA Access,
E-
yeah.
EA
Yeah,
Access
yeah,
Pass,
yeah.
yeah. That way people can try it for free. That's probably the only way they can save it, kind of.
But I don't-
even then,
Did he just say
I don't think
free?
it brings enough people. He did say free.
Yo, Zaga, we gotta have a little talk, haven't we? EA Access
what?
isn't free.
This is
No. You can play Battlefield 5 free if you have EA Access.
So you can't play it for
No,
free then, can you?
don't say that. Don't say
Well,
that.
You
To
can't play it
Fix.
for free then, can you?
Don't say that to Fix. Fix doesn't.
I
like
mean,
Fix.
you can get a free 30-day trial.
No.
Oh, wait. Yo, Fix. He's not wrong. Is he wrong?
No, you can't get EA Access. You don't get 30-day trial of EA Access.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I just had the app on my Xbox just like 10 minutes or not 10 minutes ago, but like before I was on with you guys.
From the gamers at gmail.com. I am almost certain, because I just bought Haley EA Access for Anthem, and she would have had the 30-day trial then.
You get like a 14-day trial.
What?
You get some sort of trial for it.
Yeah, that's 14 days, not 30.
Okay, that's still a trial. It's still free.
There's
It's
a
not-
trial of some sort.
That's the argument you were trying to get around. It's still free.
We're changing the argument. All right, back to the topic anyway.
Wait, we're changing the argument.
I might have lost this one, guys, so everyone don't email in, don't tweet at me, alright? Don't do that. But on a serious note, has Firestorm got a chance?
No.
I really doubt it.
And what do we classify as a chance? Like, are we talking about Apex Legend numbers, Fortnite numbers, or are we talking just...
I think the closest competitor would be the Call of Duty Blackout mode,
Yeah.
but even then, it's like I don't think it's gonna hit those numbers at all.
Wait,
Yeah,
it just can't because it hasn't sold as much.
Yeah. It's also like if you want the sort of BR experience that Battlefield's going for, you probably already have PUBG. If you notice, most of the BR games that get popular
Yeah.
are fast-paced games.
Mhm.
Battlefield by no means is fast-paced.
No. And what they
So
showed
I don't
wasn't
think-
fast pace either.
So I think they're not even hitting that demographic that would want this sort of experience. So I don't
Yeah,
think it has a chance.
Is that where we're at now with BRs? Where I loved PUBG because it was slow, meticulous, and running across a map for half an hour, and then oh
Yeah.
my god, there's a person! I'm hid behind a tree for an hour, making that decision. Like that's what I
Do I
loved
attack?
about
Do
it,
I just stalk them for a little bit?
Is I can literally stalk them and like
Yeah.
wait for the right moment to die, and I usually die. But and so Battlefield for me should be a winner. But I just, do you think they bring this out as free to play? Do you think that they're like, yo, we can't put this out in just a game that's dead? We put too much hard work and money into it.
If they're smart, they do it free to play. But
Yeah,
EA,
and-
it's EA, so
But EA also put out Apex, so
Well,
oh
yeah.
man, why would they make Apex if they have this coming?
Well, this will, because that was, again, it's so hard when they've already I think if they hadn't have said anything, I think this would have got scrapped. If this wasn't
Really?
announced at E3,
Yeah,
I could see them being like, hey, Apex
This
Legends
isn't
just
working
passed
out.
50 million. I'm sure they're making money off the battle pass. Again,
this will
I
be
think
egg
Sony-
on our face.
Yeah,
We don't
this
want
is,
that.
This is just pointless. What are we gonna do with this? Like, no, your game's
Yeah.
got so many people playing it at a time. Like I just, again, the only thing I can see them doing is paying a bunch of the top streamers sponsor stream it, and they're gonna play it for a week, and then it'll be up there for a week on Twitch and Mixer and whatever else, and then it will just drop back down. That's it.
Yeah,
and then everyone will forget it existed.
Yeah,
like
Like-
Battlefield.
like Battlefield.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just-
remember when Battlefield like was a close competitor to Call of Duty, and Call of
Yes.
Duty was the it factor.
Yep.
Call of Duty doesn't even have the same like legs it used to. by any means.
I mean, it does sales.
It still sells, but
Sales-wise,
it
not,
still sells brilliantly. It doesn't have the same
longevity like it used to.
Yeah, exactly.
People don't talk about it the same when they're talking about like, oh, even people who only play multiplayer games, like, oh, what was your favorite game this year? It's never Call of Duty is never really in that conversation
Not
as
in
much
our
as it used to be.
ecosystems. No.
Yeah,
not in
that's
our
fair to
bubbles.
say. That's
Not in
very,
our
very
bubbles.
fair to
Not-
say.
Yeah. But to be fair, we are the shooter people. We put ridiculous amounts of hours in Fortnite, in Blackout, and in PUBG. And obviously, you've been playing Apex Legends a lot as well, which we'll get to, I'm sure. But yeah, I think it's doomed on arrival. I think that they've got to put it out because they said they would. I think the smart thing to do here is to put it out as a free-to-play mode. Learn. They must know how to monetize this, which is skins and banners and all. They've already done it in Apex. Just do it again, but in the Firestorm mode, right?
Yeah. I think they could get like enough consistent people playing it because there are enough people that play Battlefield I think to enjoy this.
But for me, it's just a case of if it's free, I'll play it, and if it's free, and I'll put money in. Not that I won't put money in, but it's a case of I've got PUBG, I've got Fortnite, I've got Apex, I've got Blackout. Firestorm, you really have to do something, and I already know you're not going to. Like, it's not. You're not.
Did they announce that it has destructible environments or not?
They
Like
did.
a normal Battlefield does?
Yeah, no, they did. Which
That
is
would be
cool.
the only thing that's different that I could think of off the top of my head.
It's different, but no one cares, right? We just don't
Yeah.
care. Like,
I mean, we have destructible environments in Fortnite.
I thought you was about to say Crackdown. I was about to knock you out.
Yo, Crackdown BR mode. When's that coming out?
That might do better, honestly.
Yeah, but again, it's not free, but people think Game Pass is free to them. So at least that makes sense. EA have EA Access, EA Premium. So okay, let's say they're not going to do it free to play, yeah? But they make the mode separate, so they sell it off as a standalone, yeah? Which is then $20, right? You already charge people $60 for the game, $20, and then EA Premium and EA Access members get it for free. Literally free, which is not free because you pay £20 for it. But you get what I'm saying. I'm not trying to confuse the conversation here. Like, they need to do something.
I agree. Just rolling it out as part of a DLC will not work.
No. Moody, I hope we answered your question. I don't know, but I don't know. It's probably dead. Sorry. Let's get into what we've been playing. Zygar, what you been playing, son? What has been in the... I didn't ask you the important question. I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
I totally
wow,
forgot.
Shame on you, Fix.
If you had to pick one system, what would it be?
Ouya.
You prick.
It's supposed to be a real... This is a...
serious... This is a serious podcast, god damn it.
Yeah. We don't joke around. We don't mess around.
So, obviously, PC, Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation. If you had to pick one for the rest of your life, you couldn't play the others, what would it be?
I would have to say Nintendo, mostly because the top two franchises of all time, or my top two franchises are Pokemon and Fire Emblem.
Okay.
Nothing on PlayStation will beat that. Nothing on Xbox will beat that. There might be a few things on PC, but even then, I don't play a lot of PC games.
Yeah.
Like, nothing will beat Pokemon and Fire Emblem to me. So those two games alone have me sold on Nintendo out of the four.
You're our first Nintendo. You're our first Nintendo guy.
I'll be honest, I expected nothing less of the man with as many amiibos as Zyger. That is the perfect answer.
How many amiibos do you actually have, do you know?
Oh.
Last time I counted, it was 84, but I know it's higher than that.
Wow. I wish I had like a few amiibos. I have no amiibos.
I on purpose didn't buy any. Me and Haley, we saw there was a I think there was a Luigi one day that I wanted, and I was like, I'm gonna buy it. And she was like, if you buy this, you are opening a can of worms. And I was like, you know what, you're right. You're totally right. And they've never done anything really crazy with them that's made in the games that I care about anyway. Where I'm like, oh, I have to have it. Like, it's because it's going to make this experience so much better. So, yeah, I've got my Pop Funkles, which my Resident Evil ones and my Spider-Man one. And I, like, only picked the select few. Like, my Resident Evil ones, I've got all but 2. And my Spider-Man one, I've only got the 1, but it's from the Homecoming series. I'm like, do I go and buy the rest of them? No, don't do it. Don't do it. It's so hard. But yeah, back to what we've been playing, Zyger. What have you been playing this week, my dude?
So this week I haven't been working the past month or so I haven't been making a whole lot of money, so I haven't been buying any of the more recent games. Yeah. I had bought Wargroove on my Switch. I've been playing that because it's the spiritual successor to Advance Wars, which is same thing as Fire Emblem. So I've been playing a lot of that. That game has a really high difficulty curve. The first few levels, super easy. You can get through them no problem. But then, like, it spikes the difficulty, and each level takes about half an hour to beat. And it's like, it's so easy to mess up. And once you mess up, you have to redo the entire thing over again. And you can't skip any of like the cutscenes in between levels or anything. And the tutorials will constantly keep playing. I have a love-hate relationship with this game. I love the gameplay, don't like everything in between the levels, and having to like reset entire levels based on like one mistake.
That makes sense. Yeah, I remember playing
I've
the
also been playing
EGX.
Smite, which I know Crash likes.
Oh God, no!
Yes.
How dare you?
Because the other day when I was on my Switch, I saw Smite was on Nintendo Switch now.
Yeah,
So like, I'll try
crossplay
this
as well.
game again. It is crossplay. I thought it was. I wasn't 100% sure.
PC and Xbox.
How's it run?
Sony's still not in it.
How's it run on Switch?
On Switch, I was surprised how well it ran. Like, it didn't crash. Like, at one point, it logged me out. Like, when I was just in the menu, it's like, okay,
That's
well, I was in the menu.
That's
It's normal.
Smite stuff.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
So, like, I was surprised how well it actually played. I forget the name of the hero I played. I think it's like Belladonna or something. Bologna. That's it. Yeah, I like her a lot.
She cool.
Nuts. Such nuts.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised the game plays well on Switch. It plays good on Xbox, and it comes from a PC, so I'm sure they have like the scaling and whatnot down to like scale it down to the Switch, so it's playable on the Switch. I'm glad to hear that it plays well, though.
Is it ugly?
I just so
it's like, because most games that I've seen now, especially after that latest Nintendo Direct, I'm like, oh, these third parties.
They made a few mistakes on that.
They do not look great.
It's not the prettiest game at all, and I've only played it in handheld mode, so I'm sure it looks better docked.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't have a problem playing it, and like I said, it ran well enough. So like, I only played it one time prior on Xbox for like maybe 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
I didn't really get that big into it.
Yeah.
So like, going in almost new, I was pretty surprised how well the game handled. I just wish I was good at it.
You can't. We can't all be as good
It
as
takes
me.
a lot of time. Oh yeah, Fix is great at healing.
Thank you.
That's
all I
his thing.
needed. That's all I needed.
I don't know. Whenever we have the conversation with Fix is always like, we can get Haley in and she can heal. Like, Fix is the perfect healer for every situation.
No, in that game, remember, I was actually really good. You gotta admit.
Yeah. Oh, fun fact. I was playing Smite with Ben the other day, and we were talking about playing Smite with other people. And like, sometimes it's a little rough because me and Ben like to be super aggressive because we know what we're doing, and then we'll have some random person we're playing with be like, I can do that too, and they'll go in 1v3 and just die. But we're like, you know what? Shout out to Fix, because Fix knows his place. He stays in the back and heals.
No, because I don't understand those games. I understand how they work now because you guys explained it. But it's like, okay, this game, in my opinion, that game's not. I don't like those type of games, and I feel a hindrance on my team all of the time. But if you're like, Fix, stand behind us, heal us, and then if you see someone super low, go get them. I'm like, cool, I can do that, no problem. So that's what I did. We literally was just like, heal, go for it, and then I die. I'm like, I'm sorry guys, I didn't mean to die. It's like, it's okay, you tried, it's okay. I'm like, oh thanks. It's not like a shooter where I'm like, oh, ankles and I'm like, oh man, this is too much stress. No thank you. No thank you. So Wargroove, Smite, anything else?
Just the casual Smash Bros here and there, but it's Smash Bros. I'm more or less waiting for the Joker DLC to get rolled back into Smash.
Oh, yeah.
Same.
Fair enough. Crash, what you been playing?
Oh man, I've been playing one game for the most part. It's an oldie.
I can't believe this crap.
It's a really oldie, man.
You remember, wait. Remember when I said to you, alright, we're going to start a podcast, Crash? And you're like, yeah. I'm going to get you on. And like, yeah. You're going to learn how to podcast. Yeah. Remember, you got to play decent games, though. Yeah. And then you played this
okay.
shit.
I'm going to be real. This game is probably my top 10 games of all time.
I hate you.
No joke. Maybe even top 5. Revisiting it has reminded me all of these things.
So
it is a fantastic game. I've been playing RuneScape.
Why?
What?
Literally. I came on Twitch the other day. I was like, I wonder if Crash is on. And literally, I got him up in the background because I'm watching TV with the missus. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to put him up for his view, give him the view, which everyone should do. If you've got time, just have us up in the background, please. It really helps.
I was doing that to Crash earlier this week, too.
See? But it's like, okay. And I'm like, what is he doing? I'm like, we've been playing Anthem non-stop. He's building up his core audience of like Anthem,
Yeah.
Anthem. Like, people have been in there, and then I see this scrub playing. I was just like, what is this crap?
I'm gonna be honest. I had a brief, I want to say existential crisis, but I don't think that's the right word.
Okay.
I had a brief moment where I was like
Midlife
questioning
crisis, not
everything.
midlife.
Not midlife crisis. It's not a midlife crisis, but I was questioning everything I was doing. I was questioning streaming. I was
Yep.
questioning everything.
I've been there.
And I was in that moment. I was like, I need some comfort soul food. And that was RuneScape.
So you played RuneScape.
I played RuneScape.
Did you like
I'm
it?
in it now. I love it.
Remember the
Because
vision?
Has it changed in the past 10 years?
I'll be playing Division.
Okay.
But you remember when we played, when you played Pokemon Fire, not Fire Red, Pokemon Let's Go?
Yes.
And it was sort of that nostalgia field where
Yeah,
you're going
yeah.
through all these stuff. That's kind of what I'm getting with RuneScape. It was like, oh, I remember this. Oh, I remember doing that and whatnot. Except I'm gonna stick with it because I love RuneScape.
You don't have time to skip with it. To stick with it, sorry.
It's an AFK game. You have AFK in it.
Cool.
Level up that fishing. I want to fish some lobsters. Do you have an issue if I'm fishing lobsters?
I've
Fix?
got no issue with what you do. It's your life.
Are you
I don't know.
playing
You
it
seem
right
pretty
now?
I was about to
judgmental
say,
right now.
is it on right now?
No, I'll be honest. I was tempted, but I was like, can't do that. It's a professional podcast. I can't do that.
We've been going for 11 weeks. I don't want us to get cancelled already.
Yeah.
Jeez. I finished Far Cry New Dawn finally. Yeah. So I played Far Cry New Dawn for, I don't know how long it took me to beat. Actually, it's not as long as the Far Cry 5. Had a decent amount of fun with the game. It's good. I like it personally. A lot of people think it's better than 5. I personally don't think it's better than 5. I do like the improvements they've made to the game, and I do think those improvements should now go on to the most of Ubisoft games. I love the fact that when you take down strongholds, you can redo them over and over and over again to keep getting ethanol, which is the currency in this world. The story's pretty... Again, I really think they haven't utilized the baddies in the world or in the games since Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3 was the last time I really was invested in the bad guy, where I'm like, oh, girl, doesn't matter. These are obviously the twins. The twins are there. There's dialogue in your ear every time you do something. So if you rescue someone, it's like, oh, you took Rush again, and we're gonna come get you. Like, oh, okay, cool. I get what you're doing. You're building up to this moment, but then you get to the moment, and you're like, okay, whatever. They're cool. They're bad girls. They're two bad girls that just kill everyone and murder everyone. But it just doesn't ever feel that good. The story's not that good,
So,
if I'm honest.
how do you think it compares to 5?
I mean, I liked 5, and I really liked Joseph. And Joseph is in this game. Spoilers, I guess, but you could clearly see that from the promotional stuff they did. I'm not going to spoil what happens, but you get what I mean. 5 to me was just more interesting because I like the whole cultist and what's going to happen, and they go on to expand upon that in New Dawn, which is cool. I like that part of the story more than I like we've come to this place, they've come up from the land and we're rebuilding. I like the rebuilding of the camp, but again, in these games, it's so basic, which is go out, do the missions, come back, and it upgrades. Which I get, that's what's got to be done. That makes sense to me, but like, I'm still waiting for a game that can give me a story that I really care about in a Rust-like world. Like, I want to build it. I want to be able to build it, and then even if you have to like a State of Decay, like I always wanted State of Decay 2 to do the Rust method, whereas I'm building this house and I am building this, and I get it that like it doesn't work. Fallout 4, we've had that where it's like you can build out your settlement, and it's like, yeah, no, I don't care about that. But I don't know, like I just when you have it in these games where you're upgrading your base and you see it happening, like, oh, that's cool. I kind of wish I got to customize it a little bit more. I don't want the medicine place over there or the house there. I want to be able to sort of move it around a little bit if possible, especially in an offshoot game as well. I feel like that's the time you can make these little changes in a game. Like, it's not a numbered game, so you can do something a little bit different. And Far Cry New Dawn does have differences, has a story that wraps up that 5 world, which I think is kind of cool. It was cheaper than, obviously, Far Cry 5, which makes sense because it's a lot shorter. But the main story, which is what I mainly did, that and the side stories, was just pretty average, in my opinion. Doesn't change how great Far Cry is as a game. I love it. I love taking down camps. I love I like the tier system they got now with the weapons, which is like obviously your commons, and then you progressively get better and better and better. I hate the fact they've got microtransaction in this game. It just annoys the crap out of me when I find the Ubisoft coins or whatever it is. And it's like, oh, buy more, and I'm like, oh, I can totally see why this is here, because I could just unlock everything if I paid for it. But it just takes away from the game, because I come away feeling a little bit dirty, feeling like, why? This game doesn't need that. Just sell me the game and I will progressively get there. And I get it. It's an option for people that do want to pay and want to get through it and unlock everything at the start. And it just doesn't work for me.
So how aggressive are those ads that come up to buy
not.
the things?
They're not. They're not at all. It's not a case of like, hey, buy it now, buy it now. No, it's there. It's just an option. It's there. And and they do give you an option of being able to get them. Every time you pick like a safe, there's Ubisoft coin there, or whatever it's called. I don't know if it's actually called Ubisoft coin, but like, and you get it. You get it. If you go looking for it, I'm sure you could unlock every single. You can unlock. I'm not even sure. You can unlock every single gun, and be able to do it if you want that. And again, I only did the main story stuff. I took down all the storage holds, and did them all on level 3. I've done all the story, but there's other stuff to do there. Like there's this expendium thing where they've added this whole thing where you go out in a helicopter and you get chased down, and there's a lot more there. But I just didn't care about that because I wanted to. When I play Far Cry, I kind of want the story and the world and stuff like that. I don't want the other stuff, and that's how I try and go into all these games. Will I go and do the other stuff? Maybe at some point, but not right now. Obviously Division 2's here, but yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I finally played something other than Anthem, which I'm sure everyone's happy about. I took the week off from Anthem because of it obviously being broken. I see the big patches come this week, and we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, it's just an interesting one. Okay. Anything else anyone's played that they want to talk about?
No, I'm good.
Cool.
No.
Cool. Let's get into the big news this week then, the big one. E3 2019, EA Play dates announced, will not have a press conference. Electronic Arts has confirmed that EA Play will return in 2019, including when it will take place. EA Play 2019 is confirmed to happen from June 7th to June 9th, and will kick off the event on the Friday night, June 7th. Tickets will be available next month, and will be free to those who register. The whole big thing here, I don't need to read all of this, is that there's no press conference this year. So they're going to be doing live streams for different games and showing off bits and bobs here and there, but there's no big press conference for everyone to shit on, pretty much. Which, I'm super sad about, personally, and I tweeted this, which is like, God damn it, no Sony, no EA. I don't get to have my 4-day bender no more, where I'm like, energy drinked up, and me and Crash are like doing pre and post shows for everything, which we'll still do for Xbox and Ubisoft and Bethesda. We cross our fingers. Please don't quit on us, Bethesda. Now I don't even care about Bethesda games. I'm like, please, I just need at least a 2-day bender. I need at least a 2-day bender. Like, please, I get it. It makes sense. Like, every year, people just poo-poo EA. Like, we don't care about sports. I care about sports. I love seeing FIFA. I love seeing Madden. I'd love to have seen a new Fight Night, which, again, not going to happen, which is very upsetting. Which I found out why. There's a lot of licensing stuff, actually. I didn't realise.
Is it really?
Yeah, lots of...
Oh, so they would have made one by now, then.
Different boxes. Like, you know, like the UFC is the UFC, and all of their fighters are under the UFC. Boxers are all under different contracts with different like companies. So they don't
so different management and whatnot.
It's different for different people.
So that would be very expensive.
It's like Mayweather's never been in a Fight Night game because he's under his own company and he would never sell the rights to put him in the game. So
it would be very expensive.
Or it would have cost a lot of money. So it's sort of now making more sense why we don't get a Fight Night. Which is something I learned the other day because I do watch a little bit of boxing. I was watching a vlogger, and he was like, "Yeah, this is why I've not been in a game." And I'm like,
"That sucks."
It really sucks because I love fighting. It's a great game. But yeah, back to the press conference. How do you guys feel about EA not being there? Is it a case of you're happy because their press conferences are not very good usually, or is it a case of you wish there was still one so you could poo on it pretty much?
Um, I think I'm with you. I'm like halfway, half and half. Where I'm like, I'm glad they're not there because I don't think their press conferences go good. But it's kind of like we're missing so much out of E3. No Sony, no EA. I feel like this is going to be the year where people test like, do we really need an E3? Do we need to be there?
I mean, yeah, I think it's a case of me personally. Their press conferences were never great, but I still enjoyed them always.
Agreed.
Did you enjoy that 10-minute mobile demo from what
that was
Commander
horrible.
game that they had?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't enjoy that. Of course I didn't. It was crap. But that being said, I appreciate the moments where I get to sit there and watch it to take the mickey. Which again, that's not good for business. I get that, and that's why we're not getting one this year. But you gotta remember, I'm a commentator at the end of the day. I get to do my live watch along, and so I never want these things to go away because that's content. That's gold.
Yeah,
that's gold for me at the end of the day. But I am sad though because E3, this could really be the year that E3 really does struggle to get people in. Obviously, Xbox has said they're going to be there. Have nobody else confirmed, right? Ubisoft haven't said they're definitely there yet.
No, I don't think so.
So,
but
you would hope so. But yeah,
is E3 a thing where you need to confirm you're going, or you need to confirm you're not going?
At this point, you might as well confirm you're going.
Both, right? I think it's a bit.
Because I don't. Have developers in the past been like, yeah, we're going to be at E3 before the date, or was it just assumed they would be there?
It was always assumed.
I think I assume we always just assumed that everyone would be there. But now, obviously, Sony's the first big one where they're like, yeah, we're not coming. Like, don't expect it. We're not going to be there. Got out in front of it really early, which makes sense because they've probably got nothing to show. Like, Days Gone is
here's the games you guys have already seen.
Again,
have fun.
For a third year, would that have been, or fourth? Of, like, seeing the same
Depends
thing.
what game, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a strange.
Unlike Sony, though, EA is still going to be there.
No press conference, right?
Yeah, no press conference, but they're still going to be at E3. I'm assuming they're going to be on the Xbox stage at some point.
Sony's still going to be at E3 as well.
No, they aren't.
No,
they're not there at all. Not even at the floor at all.
No.
They had no show floor. I think Xbox took the entire space that they had.
Oh, wow. So I was under the impression that they'd be there and they'd have like booths set up and what.
No.
Not that they wouldn't have wow. Okay, that changes my opinion on that quite a bit.
I think it comes down to money at the end of the day and how to message and market things. I think EA have already shown that what happens when you do something smart with Apex Legends, which is, apart from the fact it got leaked, which I actually think helped it, if I'm honest with you, because I wouldn't have given a crap about this game if it didn't get leaked.
Same. Because if it wasn't like, oh, it's a Titanfall game, it's a Titanfall game. Yeah, if it was just like Apex Legends, people would have been like,
what? Who cares?
No one cares.
Nobody would have cared. But I didn't like the way they did it because I hate the whole 4-hour sit there.
It works.
It does work, and I think that's what EA is saying. It's like, well, why would we do a press conference where we get a bunch of influencers in, and which they're still doing. They're still doing that.
Yeah.
But the conference part is gone. So I'm sure we will still see FIFA and maybe a new Tiger Woods game and whatever else, but we'll see it in a live stream sense. Which again, I just think I just don't like it personally.
So question, do we think that they did what they did with Apex Legends to sort of test the water and how that sort of announcement would go? Or it's just, it happened to work well, so they're like, okay, this is what we're doing this year.
I think it was just a case of they always knew they weren't going to be, they clearly don't have enough to show. And I think that's what it comes down to then, is if you haven't got enough to show, why would you be there? We've seen this with Sony for the last 2 years. Really, or year. Definitely last year.
Last year. I think before that they didn't show much, but people still enjoyed it enough that it wasn't really an issue.
For me, it's just a case of, if you haven't got anything to show, that's all that people complain about. Oh, we've already seen Spider-Man. We've already seen Last of Us. We've already seen, obviously, we always want to see more Last of Us. But,
but we've already seen it. It's not even close to coming out.
Yeah, we've already seen. And then, I just think EA are in that lose-lose situation. People like me love seeing FIFA, Madden, and any other sports game, but I don't really care about Star Wars, stuff like that. So, and Star Wars is already coming out this year. They're showing.
Is Star Wars the only other thing that they have besides the sports games
to show
that they have announced anyway?
What for this year?
Yeah, so I think that's all they had.
It's sports. It would be obviously you would assume Madden, FIFA, Star Wars. Are they not doing that?
Does the BR mode come before?
Yes,
that or after?
That's meant to be out before. Well, before the.
Isn't the BR mode next month?
It meant to be. I'm pretty sure.
And we haven't heard anything?
Well, there was a leak.
We got a leaked trailer. But that's not from them.
No,
As far
exactly.
as it's like concerned, we haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I mean they've
Wow.
got Dragon Age that they teased last year at the Game Awards.
But that's probably not ready to show.
So that's not. So that's what I'm assuming. Again, it's like, well, they need something. If they haven't even got, because remember last year they did the whole indie section thing that they did, where like they don't make a profit on, and they showed that game which was for the blind people, if I'm not mistaken, or was it colorblind? Something like that. Again, I can't remember.
Oh, you're right.
Do
They
you
did do
understand
that.
what I mean? Do you understand? Remember that the woman on stage and she was really nervous, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
come across really amazing to me. Because
was
wow.
it the anxiety game?
Yeah, it might be something like that. Yeah.
I think it was the anxiety game where she was on a boat and whatnot.
That's
the girl
it,
was on a
yeah.
boat, and it was her nightmares
Yep.
and whatnot. That game looked really dope. Is that game out yet? I don't know.
I haven't heard anything about that game since E3.
I haven't either.
You had Unravel 2 that they showed.
Yeah.
I'm guessing A Way Out, not A Way Out 2, but whatever. Is it Joseph Ferris?
That sounds right.
Whatever he's working on next, that was a huge hit, made money. I'm sure he's working on. So if they've got nothing to show, there's no point doing it, right? That's what it comes down to, right?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, wait. Before we move on, who do you think is the next one to drop out? Bethesda. Bethesda before Ubisoft, right?
Bethesda. I don't think Ubisoft drops out. I don't think there's a chance Ubisoft drops out.
It would have to be Bethesda. Because what do they have to show? They already they announced Elder Scrolls.
Yep.
Everything else that they announced, they've already put out, I believe.
Well,
yeah, if they have anything.
Starlink. You've got the
Fallout 76 bug fixes.
No, yeah, I know we're joking about it, but yeah, you've got a huge update. They probably have a huge update prepared for Fallout 76. They need to get out on stage and be like, look, we messed this up, but here's a reason. I want to play that game. I really do. You know, Chris, I spoke about, I want that game, I want that game, I want that game.
Fix was so, Fix was like, this is going to be Rust, this is going to be my Rust.
It's going to be my Rust,
it's going to be popping on Twitch, I'll be playing it, And, I'll get everybody in on it, and it wasn't.
So, yeah, I think Bethesda's probably the next one to drop out if it happens, but we know Xbox is going to be there, and as a guy who runs an Xbox podcast, I'm very happy. So, but we'll see what happens. Let's get into the rest of the news this week. Newest PS4 update lets you stream your PS4 screen to your iOS device. The PS4 firmware update 6.50 adds remote play and a region-specific 720p streaming option. Update 6.50 is live, and its new remote play feature was shared on the official PlayStation Twitter account. Kresh, me and you had a conversation about this literally the other day, and you said, yeah, you can use a PS4 controller. I went back and did some research. You can't.
You can't?
Oh,
okay,
not on your iPhone. Unless I'm totally wrong. And Zach, I don't know if you know, but I'm almost certain you can't use your DualShock 4 with your phone. It's all, what am I looking for? What's the word? It's all on screen. It's all touch screen.
Oh, that's so. From what I heard, and I didn't do any real research on it. So when you said, I don't think that's the case, I just took your word on it that wasn't the case. But I heard people saying that, you can use your PS4 controller. I didn't look into it, so I don't really know.
So I was talking to my roommate about this, and the DualShock 4 has the Bluetooth that you can't connect it to the iPhone, but we haven't tested it to see if it works with this PS4
remote
app, remote play thing. I assumed it worked, but when I was talking to one of my friends, I think yesterday about it, who was trying to see if it would work, he was controlling things with the touchscreen. So okay, maybe the PS4 controller is optional if it's available at all, because with the PS4 you have the option to use Bluetooth devices and everything. So I assume you can find a way to connect the controller to the iPhone, but from the sounds of it, everything can be done using just touchscreen on its own.
Yeah. I mean,
but nobody really wants to do that.
No.
I mean,
that's what it comes down to.
So you guys are more PlayStation heads than I am. I'm an Xbox guy. Remote play's been a thing on PC for Xbox for a while now. You can stream it over. Is this something you even care about? Even if you're let's say we can get the DualShock 4 working. Do either of you care about this? Because it's still you need to be connected to Wi-Fi to use this. It's not through your mobile data, so it's not like you can just go away and do it through mobile data. You need a pretty strong Wi-Fi connection as well, so I've been told. Do you even care about this?
No.
No, not at all.
For me, this is I don't use my Switch in a handheld mode. I use it docked. So like I don't care about this because this is, in my opinion, it's like a worse version of the Switch, but it's like the same thing. Right? I don't care to use it
Yeah.
mobilely.
I mean,
I think it's a neat feature, but I'm never going to use it.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's a case of I remember doing this with my Vita and playing Resogun. Like as soon as I got a PS4, I was like, "Oh, this is really cool," and I used it about 5 times. And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, whatever."
I'm
I
done
suppose
with it.
this is a case of just the Vita's dead now. They've sent it off in a ship, like in this little boat. They shot the little arrow at it, now the fire,
Yeah.
like the Vikings used to do. So now it's a case of, oh, we've got this software. Why don't we just stick it on phones? Because why
Yeah.
wouldn't we do? Right?
And it's not just on phones. That's important thing to say. It's not just on phones. It's also any iOS. So if you have an iPad, you can use it on an iPad and
Oh.
whatnot. Yeah.
Hmm.
So you do. It's literally like a Switch. You can have like one of the big iPads sitting next to you. Whatever someone wants to watch TV, they can watch TV. You can use it on the iPad. So it is definitely a cool feature to have.
Fair enough. I'd love to know anyone that is using it. Does it work? Is it any good? Please let us know. Fresh, a game I can't wait for, and it's coming next month. Boy, Days Gone has gone gold. Ben Studios has announced its up-and-coming PS4 exclusive Days Gone has gone gold, almost 2 months ahead of its April release date. Announced via Twitter, development studio Ben confirmed Days Gone has gone gold in a celebratory tweet accompanying with a photo. I cannot wait. Everyone's been pooing this game off for a long, long time. The previews came out, and I was like, I'm even more happy. I was like, people
I'm
like
surprised how well the previews are doing for this
No,
game.
It's
I
really
wasn't.
good.
I wasn't
No,
surprised.
I DM'd Fix after I saw all the good previews, and Fix like, I always thought it was gonna be good. I'm like, I was kind of iffy, and you're like, Fix was giving me the degrees. Like, why were you iffy? Everybody, from what I saw from day one, it looked amazing. I was like, yeah, but the consensus just generally was that it doesn't meet Sony standards of exclusives. And Fix is like, nah, man, I don't know what you're talking
I've
about.
been doing this for a long, long time, all right? And I know when I see a good game, especially if it's got zombies, a motorbike, and a white dude. That's the one thing I keep seeing people moan about, though. That it's a white dude.
What?
I'm like, what's the big deal? Who cares?
Isn't
like-
the game supposed to take like down south? Isn't it?
I believe so, but I just like, what? Like, not everything needs to be. I don't know. Like, everything doesn't need to have like diversity and stuff like that. I get it. I totally get it. Games that want to do that, perfect. Me, I'm cool with playing a white dude. It seems like it makes sense in the story, like you said, where it takes place and stuff like that. Totally generalizing here, but from my understanding, over in England, I don't see many black guys riding motorcycles anyway. Like, that's not something I see. It's usually dudes that look like this dude. So, makes sense to me in my head. But, getting back to the game, dude, I just can't wait. Like I say, the previews have come out. People seem to enjoy it. Zombies are my thing. I love zombies. And this just looks like a first-party Sony title that has some love in it as well, which I'm just like, yes.
Yeah.
Have the previews turned your opinion on the game of getting it day one, either of you guys?
Yes. I'll probably be picking up day one. I was probably gonna pick it up day one either way, to be honest. But
I wasn't going to pick it up day one, but I was very interested in the game.
Fair enough. Right, do you like zombies at all, Zygo? Is that your thing or not?
So, zombies, I like them well enough. Like, I enjoy other zombie games like Left 4 Dead or Last of Us. Like, I enjoy zombies pretty well, but like with Days Gone, there's just been so many zombie games already that I wasn't interested in this one in particular. When like the first preview went out, I didn't see anything about this game that I really liked or that stood out from all the other zombie games. So I was like, oh, this game's just, it exists, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
But with all the previews coming out, I was like, oh, maybe I'm wrong.
Yes, you are.
Quick sidebar. Last of Us is not a zombie game. It's a clicker
coming.
game. It is a clicker game. Do not get it mixed up.
Well,
Good, close enough.
This isn't a zombie game either.
This
is a freakers game.
Oh my god.
Whatever. Stupid. Yeah, like I say, I like the one thing that I really like is obviously it's world building in the case of there's no currency. It's you go to different bases and you're pretty much doing them favors, and then the more you do, it allows you to then gain more artillery and gear parts and stuff like that, which is what I saw in the IGN preview, and I was like, okay, that's enough. I don't want to see any more. I'm good. I know it's good now. I know it's what I'm gonna want. Perfect.
I'm also a fan of the actor they have playing the main character.
Yeah, I don't know any names.
I forget his name.
I
But
sort
I've
of
seen him in a
saved
bunch of
mine
stuff,
for
and I'm a
review.
fan of his.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Day one for me. Cannot wait. Next up, Divinity Original Sin 2 devs announced free content update. I know you like this game, Chris, so I added it. The
Thank you.
development team for Divinity Original Sin 2 announced today that they will be providing a series of free downloadable content packs throughout the coming year. The gift bag will be free and available on all platforms, according to the announcement from Larina? Say that right?
Larian.
Larian, that makes more sense. Studios. Quote, not to be mistaken for loot bags, gift bags are soft and contain gifts. Each gift bag costs exactly no amount of money to players and will be patched in periodically to each platform. The first content pack is available now and features cosmetic items. They can be used during the character creation. The second pack, they say, is made up of items inspired by our modding community. So, more content coming for free. I never got a chance to play this game. I really wanted to when it comes to Xbox, but just didn't have time. I heard it plays better on PC though.
Yeah. Most of the games like this are play better on PC for the most part. It controls very XCOM like. Yeah,
I didn't
it
know this
controls
game
like
was
XCOM.
coming to consoles.
Oh, it's been out
it's
on consoles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Out on consoles,
it's like what I'd imagine similar to what a D&D experience would be like. They even have a mode where you can play like a D&D mode with
Oh.
custom
want this
stuff.
game even
I don't
more.
really know. But yeah, this game's really dope. I'm really excited to hear this. They also have a really big modding community. So to see that they're taking inspiration from that to make like official stuff is always really cool. So probably get me back in the game at some point. Probably when the second pack drops, I'll get back into it.
Yeah, there's also paid DLC coming as well, which is dope. I didn't add it in here because it was already announced. But just more content for a game that people seem to enjoy. It does really. I've watched it on Twitch a few times. I'm like, this seems interesting.
When that new DLC drops, Fix, and it becomes bundled together, I'll get it on Xbox. Well, then I'm not getting it either on Xbox.
It's one of those ones where it's like, you need to either, for me, and it's so bad, but like, I need to be in the conversation. Like right now, I've got Metro, it's sitting there. I'm just like, I really want to play this. And I'm like, but Division 2.
The conversation's passed.
The conversation's gone. Like, what am I meant to do now? Like, no, I can't. I'm busy. Like, no. Yeah. Next up, EA working on fix for PS4 crash issue, says PS4s are not. Following a series reports of Anthem crashing on PS4 systems, BioWare has identified causing of the issue and is working on the fix. That fix is already actually out. I did this like yesterday, and the patch came out on the 9th. So the patch has already come out. They fixed a ton of stuff with loot, and they broke some stuff again. Did you hear about this, Crash? I was on the Reddit.
Oh, did they?
I've been like completely off of the Anthem thing over the weekend, so
they fixed a lot of stuff, yeah? So the patch went out, they fixed the loot, they fixed the PS4 issues, they fixed the loot drops. So someone played for half an hour and got 11 masterworks.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone liked that crash. Everybody liked it. Even it got a legendary as well, which I'm still yet to get. They've also upped the level cap to 700 and something, if I'm not mistaken.
I like that as well.
500 to 700. And your gear just goes up. They've upped a lot of the gear level, so your level will scale as well. So they put out the patch. And the masterworks are dropping, and they already had this happen before as well. And they said, "Oh, that was a mistake." So you wasn't meant to get as many masterworks. So
did they take them away?
Oh, are you kidding me?
Away again. So now they went from you don't get the green drops anymore, no green or whites, but now you just get. He went from the person who was reporting it, and a lot of other people were saying the same thing. He went from 11 masterworkers in half an hour, then they switched it back, and all he got was purples. One masterworker.
I'm gonna rant for a second here because this is stupid. The point of the game is to make builds. If I'm getting a masterwork or 2 in an hour, I cannot make builds. It is fucking impossible. The point of the game, which their game is more of a Diablo type game where you make builds and then you go into the higher content. I can't do that if I'm making builds. And if I don't have a build, there's no need for me to even try doing Grandmaster 2 or 3. Why would I do it? What is the point? That is so stupid. That is so beyond stupid. Because me and Fix talked about this, and I was like, everybody's like, oh man, I can't wait for them to take out the white and green. And I knew that the goal wasn't to make more Masterworks drop.
But they did.
So this to me,
the thing is, they accidentally did it.
accidentally, but not on
Accidentally.
purpose. So for me, it's like I may as well be getting white and greens because purples and blues mean nothing to me now.
No, it wasn't blues; it was just purples. But yeah,
Still, purples aren't comparable to Masterworks. There's such a big difference between the two that they're not comparable.
So I'm so happy Division's coming out, and I can see on my ivory tower. I've got my code. Very happy about that because they need to get their shit together. The subreddit is so on fire right now, where it's like it was literally they did the patch, it came out positive, 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 positive. Oops, swatch it back. Negative, negative, and now it's just on fire.
Of course.
Now it's just on fire again. I'm just like,
Of course.
You can't backtrack like that.
No.
how do you mess this up?
Twice. And here's another thing, because if you watched the live stream, which I watched because I was looking forward to it, they talked about it and they're like, we got more loot changes because we keep hearing about people wanting, and we're like, we want to tune it slightly. And they were like, we'll have more loot changes coming in the fall in a few months.
Yeah.
I'm like, what does months mean? Months could mean 8, like at least minimum of 2, but by 2 months, I don't care.
So yeah, this patch wasn't actually meant to come out till tomorrow, and they pushed it to Saturday and got it out earlier. But yeah, there's a lot going on in the Anthem community. People are just like, I'm done. People are literally just like, I'm done. I'm not doing this again. There's no way. There's no point. I'm literally putting so much time in and not being rewarded for it. And that's honestly how I felt, which is I was streaming that game like it was a full-time job, as most of you know. I was doing 8 hours a day. Like, I was dragging people through the story. Let's go. We're going to get to endgame. We got to endgame, and then it's like, nah.
Fix, imagine how much time we would have spent in endgame and gotten nothing if we had not helped people get to endgame.
Dude, I mean,
because we helped like quite a few people get to endgame.
Yeah.
If we weren't doing that, like we'd probably feel even more salty right now.
Oh, I'd be paid if I hadn't have, because obviously I took the week off that game now. With it being broken, I was planning to come back today, but yeah, no, I'm good. I'm gonna go play Division and grind that out to endgame, see what the endgame's like on that, and then we'll see where that game is when I go back. We'll be sure to talk about it. Zyga, did you play Anthem at all?
No, I was too poor and I didn't buy it, but I'm kind of glad I didn't buy it because all I've been hearing is mixed things.
I mean, from a gameplay perspective, I love it. I think it's amazing. Yeah. I think it's such a good game. I generally do. But from a content and loot perspective, oh god, it's got problems.
I think loot's the only thing they need to fix right now. Like the content fixes can come later, and I'm fine with it.
More content's coming, so yeah, I get what you're saying.
But it's the loot. Like every time for like the past 2-3 weeks we've talked about this game, it's like I want to love this game. This game does not want me to love it. Just let me love you, and it won't. It's oh man.
I think you said it best, which was the game keeps friend zoning you.
Yeah, it's like I want to get closer, and it's like nah, I'm not ready for this. You're just you're like a brother to me, you know.
Next up, Activision Blizzard lays off included 209 employees from Blizzard. According to reports discovered by let me do that again. According to a recently discovered report, 209 of the around 800 employees who were laid off as part of the Activision Blizzard reconstruction worked on the Blizzard side of gaming company. As reported by Variety, records were obtained from California's Employment Development Department, that stated that these 209 Blizzard layoffs impacted those around the US, including Irvine, Santa Monica, Burbank, California, New York, Austin, and Bloomington. Did I get all those right? You guys are American. Did I get that right?
Irvine. It's Irvine.
Sorry, thank you. Before someone comes to me in the comments, I'm not looking for it.
The other ones you got right.
Perfect. I just knew I didn't need to put C, right?
Yeah.
Crash is probably like, yo, I'm coming for you, bro. These employees were given 60 days of compensation and benefits quote, none were represented by union, according to workers' adjustments and retained in notification filled with the state by Blizzard, February 12th. So obviously, more information coming out about this whole restructure at Activision Blizzard, Activision all over, just everyone's losing jobs, which is heartbreaking. Obviously, my thoughts go out to anyone in those 800 that lost their job. I cannot even fathom how that must feel. And this just opens the conversation about unionizing again in the gaming industry, which is something that I don't understand it because I'm not a big boy. I'm a man child, so I don't understand how it all works. But from my understanding, from conversations that I've listened to in podcasts and stuff, it needs to happen. From my understanding.
Yeah, it's really easy for big companies to abuse workers if they're not unionized.
Yeah,
So that's like a big issue.
I only understand it because of Haley. Haley's part of a teaching union because she's a teacher, and she's like, she has to pay. I think it's like whatever it is. I'm not gonna put her information out.
Yeah.
But I was like, whoa, that's a lot of money. She's like, yo, if something happens though, these people have my back, and they take care of like if I was obviously sacked wrongly, or especially her being the teaching is like there's a lot of other stuff with kids and stuff which she has to be very, very careful with. She's like, I have to have this, so I can only imagine that being in a union would help some of these people out in huge ways. So sucks. My thoughts go out to them.
So like with this story anyway, at least these employees were given 60 days compensation and benefits, because in some cases, for example, like Telltale, they had maybe an hour. Yeah, and it's
crazy.
Like you don't get paid for the past few weeks. You're not getting any future pay or anything. You're just out of the job. With at least this, even though they're not unionized or anything, they still at least have the 60 days compensation with some benefits, so they have a small gap of window to find a new job. So that's great, but I 100% agree with you. They should find a way to unionize the industry.
I think it's a matter of time, right?
Yeah, hopefully. It's kind of difficult because people who need work will go in and be like, yeah, I don't need to be unionized if they're looking for work. So it's kind of one of those tough things. Yeah.
That's any job, any industry. It's a case of again, it's like we were just saying with that, like they have to come together. Everyone needs to come together and be like, we don't want to crunch anymore. We want to see our families. We want to, and again, I think from a gamer's perspective, it's going to suck. From a being a dick perspective, it's like, I want my games now. You know, there's people on Twitter which is like, there's a delay, and everyone's like, oh, you guys are just lazy. Stop. It's like, what are you talking about? I mean, like I say, this is my 4th year now, like doing it professionally, being in the industry, and I've met video game devs that are literally killing themselves. Working on games, indie devs and big companies. It's just like, you guys are idiots. Like, no.
Being unionized also doesn't mean that there won't be the crunch. It just means if there is the crunch, that they're more so compensated for it. Yeah, because you might still get paid a normal's day right now, even if you have to crunch, whereas you will be getting paid overtime or something. Yeah, some cases, yeah. So hopefully,
we shall see. Next up, Dark Souls creators would love to try and make a Battle Royale game. Oh god, no. Please no. Dark Souls creators and FromSoft director. Come on, Zyga, help us out here. Can you do these names?
Miyazaki?
Ah, perfect. There you go. You're going to have to say it. Miyazaki reveals. Again, I'm not going to try. I'm dyslexic for those who have come in new just for Zyga. Not going to try that. Miyazaki? I'll try.
Yeah, Miyazaki.
Perfect. Reveals he's got an eye on the Battle Royale genre. Miyazaki, best known for his work on such titles as Dark Souls and Bloodborne, has revealed that he is not only keeping tabs on Battle Royale and live service phenomenon, but he'd love to try and take a crack at them someday. This was all from an interview with The Telegraph, and there's more with some quotes, but a Dark Souls Battle Royale. How do you feel about that, boys?
Dark Souls is hard, and to me, who is not good at Battle Royales is hard. Take 2 already hard games, put them together. This game just sounds really hard.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, Dark Souls has actually like a pretty big PvP community with the way the game works with invading people. People like really live for it, both getting invaded and invading people. This could be really cool. I don't like PvP in those games isn't for me. I'm not a huge fan of getting invaded and whatnot. But I could see this having some sort of success. I could imagine this would be a fun watch once in a while, but not something I think I'd play.
The thing for me that more interests me, not the Battle Royale side of it, the live services side of it, really is more like, that could be interesting.
Agreed.
For me, I'm not good at these games. That's why I don't play them. I'd actually think it would be quite fun, though, to play a Dark Souls with 4 friends. let's say,
Yeah.
and like imagine
You're grinding
that.
out gear and stuff and crafting
Every-
loot and whatnot.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
It's gonna be 100 people rolling everywhere because that's how you move in that game.
But yeah, like I say, the live service part for me was more the thing that prickled my ears up and was like, oh, I might actually be able to play Miyazaki's games. Hey, I
Yeah,
didn't say names.
I'd be interested to see the full quote from this, because here they mention battle royales and live
Yeah.
service phenomena. So I'd be interested to see which one he was talking about more. So if it was if it was like both of them bundled or whatever.
To read the full quote, it's when asked if FromSoft would consider taking on the when FromSoft considered taking on gaming's fastest growing genre, he said, "There's always the possibility." He went on to remark that these games are definitely fun, and if we did it, it might be a bit different. But we're definitely interested, and there are definitely a possibility of this in the future. He'd love to take a crack at them someday. So that is the quote that we have to go. Like I said, I just think it would be quite fun, interesting, especially the Battle Royale. I don't know if I would really care about because, like you said, Zyga, I'm not good at these games. Battle Royale was already hard enough, and I suppose would that make me like a true gamer if you won one of those? Like, I won a game with the hardest games. It's just like, no.
I'll be honest. Last two people, someone just rolls over an edge on accident. You know, could happen.
But the live service one for me of like, okay, we're going in, 4 of us together. It's as hard as it is, obviously level scaling and stuff like that. That to me really.
Boss design's also really good in that game, so I think it would work. I think a live service. Oh man, I wasn't even thinking about it when I read that that first bit. When I read the battle royale bit earlier, I was like, oh, I didn't even think about oh wow.
I got you, bro. I got you. Or just traditional co-op, please. I take that. Honestly.
Don't get that.
And I know, but that's what I want. All right.
I know. I hear you. I'm just letting you know. I want to set your
Jeez.
expectations realistic, Fix.
I mean, I have no expectations, so if it just happens, I'm very happy. New Octopath Traveler console game in production, mobile prequel announced. Square Enix has revealed that a new console Octopath Traveler game is in the works, and that a mobile prequel title, Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent, will also be headed to iOS and Android later this year, at least in Japan. Come on. As reported by Eurogamer, Octopath Traveler's new game is a free-to-play single-player RPG that is set in Osteria?
Ostera.
Ostera.
Yeah. Guys, come on, help me out. Can't we just like use the basic words for things and stop making up words? Right? The world of 2018's Octopath Traveler will take place a few years prior to the Switch title. Did either of you play it? I played the demo they put out and really enjoyed it, and then never got around to it.
Yeah,
I played the demo and maybe the first 2 or 3 hours of the game, but other than that, not too far into it.
Did you not like it?
I liked it. The problem is, like, I didn't have enough time at the time, and it was my brother's copy of the game, and he eventually took it back. So I was like, okay, well, he's out doing who knows what, so I don't have the physical game on me anymore. And like, I wasn't super invested in the first 2 or 3 hours of the game enough to where I wanted to go play it myself or buy the game on my own.
Interesting. Crash, what did you think when you played it? Because I know you like the look of it a lot.
I really liked the look of it, and then when I was playing it, it was a lot of reading and stuff like that. I was like, I'm not really in the mood for a game like this right now, so I'll get it down the line. And then, you know what happens with games like that, you never end up getting them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I played the demo, really enjoyed it, loved the art style, and I was like, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna play this, and then something else came at the same time, and I was just like, I don't have time for this, so nope. And then you just, like you said, you just sort of move on, right? You just don't have time.
Yeah.
So. Next and last one this week, which is Nintendo announces new VR Labo kit. Zyga, I'm sure you're absolutely happy about this.
So I don't actually own any of the Nintendo Labo stuff,
What?
and when they announced this VR thing, I was confused.
So,
like,
let me read it real quickly. Nintendo has announced a new VR kit as part of its Labo cardboard accessory lineup. According to the official Labo website, the new offering will be available from April 12th. There will be a starter set alongside 2 expansions. You will also have the option to buy a full kit for for $80 US, which will include materials to build 6 of the VR toy cons included in the other sets. The starter set will also be $40 US and will include the materials to build a VR goggles, which look very much like Google's VR stuff, if we're honest with you. There's a couple other things you can buy and a couple more expansions coming a little bit cheaper, like the elephant, which is $20, and a bird with a wind pedal toy con as well. What? Why? What? Nintendo, I get it. You like cardboard, but what? Did it sell well enough to do this?
Apparently, it sold really well in Japan. I don't know how well it did in the United States or in Europe.
Yeah.
But in Japan, I heard it's selling well enough to where like they have exclusive sets in Japan that we can't buy here for like special cardboard creations and everything that I didn't know about. And they have like they had a contest sometime last year where you could make or fans created their own custom things and you can win special Joy-Cons that were Nintendo Labo themed. And that was the only way you can win these Joy-Cons.
That sounds dope. Shout out to those. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I suppose I'm guessing it's really cheap to make the cardboard. So, I'm guessing. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know the price of cardboard.
I would think it would be pretty cheap.
Yeah, so that's
I would too.
And the markup on it's got to be brilliant. $80 for a full kit, which is probably, they say it cost them $10 to make. Like that's why they can do this, right? And even if it doesn't sell crazy,
amazing, it'll sell enough.
Yeah.
To make up the cost.
I assume.
They undership them. They probably do undership them.
They undership everything. Let's be serious.
Yeah.
I've not seen any though when I go out to shops and stuff. Like I've never seen them. I've never seen a kid play with them over here. Like I've got nephews and they've got Switches and they've not like, oh, I want Labo. Like no, that's never happened. Like I'm around kids enough to hear about this stuff and I've never heard it. So it must be, I don't know, super niche. I just don't know.
The only person who I know that was super excited for Labo was Yami, and he's a child at heart.
Did he get it?
So you know, I want to say he did, but I'm not 100% on it. I gotta ask him next time I talk to him. We'll come back next week with if we know somebody who got a Labo. Okay. I don't know anybody. I don't know kids. I don't know anybody who has a Labo.
I don't know anyone with Labo either.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. Weird. Deals of the week this week, March PS Plus games are The Witness and Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. On Xbox, you have got Games with Gold for 2019, which are not free. Don't care what this says. Let me delete that. I dare you. Adventure Time, Pirates of the... Damn it. Crash, I forgot what it said again.
And
Interidion, and Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 on the 360, Star Wars Republic Commando, and Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. On the Epic Game Store, Thimbleweed Park is available, and it's gone. Oh no, there's a new one then. There must be a new one. Does anyone know what it is? Let's do plug and get ourselves out of it, but I'm going to look this up. Crash, what you got to plug this week?
Twitch.tv/Crushnick. I'm live sometimes. I've been very inconsistent lately. I can't give you like a straight statement. I've been super inconsistent lately.
Yeah, but Fix knows the schedule, right, Fix?
I do have a schedule.
No, do you know his schedule?
Oh, his schedule? No, he doesn't tell me because he's too scared.
It's not that I'm scared. No, here's the thing. I told Fix several times what my schedule was going to be. Fix did not pay attention and did not remember my schedule.
You don't stick to a schedule. That's the problem.
But you don't. Okay, you can't say that because you don't know my schedule. You can't say that. You literally do not have the ability to say that.
The Epic Game Store game is Slime Rancher currently. So go.
Yo, Slime Rancher is great.
I've never played it.
A lot of people really like it. Shout out to Slime Rancher. So
go get that on PC. It's actually free. Real free. Zyger, thank you for being on. I appreciate it. If you got anything you want to plug this week?
Yeah, twitter.com/Zyger1237 and twitch.tv/Kreshnik.
That's what I'm talking about.
I totally didn't expect you to say that. I was expecting another name to pop up, but well done. Okay, me, you can hit me up everywhere at MC Fixer. I do kind of funny UK best friend stuff, a fellow best friend, so thank you, and welcome anyone that's come in to see Zyger's pretty face. I know we don't see it often, so thank you very much. yeah, this is a weekly show. Go check it out. I do another podcast called My Xbox and Me, which is literally was designed to fill the gap that Kind of Funny didn't have when they did PS I Love You. I still think the gap is there. They don't have an Xbox guy, that's someone that knows their ish, let's say. So I tried to fill that gap, so go check it out, My Xbox and Me. Thank you all for listening, and until next time, I will love you, leave you, and see you all later. Goodbye.
Boy.
Bye bye.